Good morning. I'm going to speak in English. I think actually I'm the only one using the headphones, I realize. Good morning to everybody, and we're very proud, and I want to say on behalf of Ambassador Kristien Bjørger, who could not be with us today, but he sends his best regards, and I want to thank Your Excellencies, the Governor, who is honoring us with his presence, the Deputy Minister, the Business Association, and all the dignitaries. And for the European Union, this is a very important subject, how to really go one step further and involve the private sector. As you know, we do a lot of work with the government, some of the previous speakers have referred, but the emphasis now is really to try to do more on private sector, how to bring European and Egyptian business together. So with regards to water, I just want to remind that it was something that was already identified when we had our association agreement, back in 2001 when we signed it, and we identified sustainable water resources management. So already at the time we're thinking about how to work together on this issue, something that we further focused on when we agreed on partnership priorities last year, and something that led to the signing. I don't know how many of you know that we have a European Union-Egypt water partnership that was signed very recently. So, working on all aspects of water management. But, Excellencies and esteemed guests, why we're here today? Because we think that we need to have more innovative means to address these problems. We need to mobilize more resources at a faster pace and at a larger scale to promote sustainable development. And this is a top priority for us, and it's a top priority for Egypt. And it will be one of the main pillars of our intervention. And we want to invest in human capital, not only in infrastructure, and raise public awareness on these issues. So I'm privileged to be here, in the great city of Alexandria, that it's not only a rich historical city, but it's only a city that plays a primary role in management water strategies. So as we start these EU-Egypt roundtables, what we want to do is to bring together leading private sector players in key areas such as industrial wastewater treatment, desalination, or agricultural irrigation. So we hope that this platform that we're creating today will facilitate in-depth dialogues and, very importantly, preparation of project pipelines, so that the skeleton of the idea is already there. So why we chose Alexandria, and this is only the first of a series of platforms. It's not a coincidence. You know better than me. I don't need to remind you that the strategic position on the Mediterranean is combined with vulnerability to climate change, especially with sea level rises. So we think it was the best location to start this discussion. And as the European Union, how can we help? And let me start with some numbers. Already from 2007, we have provided more than 550 million euros in grants, which they have leveraged up to, we estimate, 3 billion euros, along with other, of course, European financial institutions, as you know, EBRD, etc. Now, this work, not talking only about Alexandria, it extends to 16 governorates. They have created 25,000 permanent jobs and almost 600,000 shorter-term jobs. Now, we are hopeful that this has improved the quality of what we estimate is roughly 1/5 of our population, 22 million Egyptians. But more interestingly, now with the new approach, which we call Team Europe for Water Initiative, and one we call Team Europe, for those of you who are not familiar with the EU, means the European institutions working along with member states, with development aids like GIZ or AFD, that I'm sure you know. So we want this to be leveraged and reach perhaps 4.2 billion in the future. So the essence of the discussions we will have today is to harness public-private partnerships within the water sector. So this is something that is very much aligned with Egypt's state ownership policies, with all the national strategies, the visionary Nexus Water Energy Food Program. So the ambition is to leverage powerful tools. We have also another tool we call the European Fund for Sustainable Development Plus. So alongside other risk sharing mechanisms, with our financial institutions. So, as I said again, today the focus is on developing priorities for the private sector to prepare investment projects and comprehensive studies under this concept. So it's not about just, as I said, infrastructure, where it's about building resilience and hopefully foster economic growth. So we propose a strategic dialogue that will bring together all the actors, representatives from relevant ministries, the private sector, financial institutions, and we expect, as an outcome, to have what we call a pipeline and building blocks. I had a discussion now with one of the guests, building blocks on how to push forward. So it is not just a conference, it's a commitment on the part of the European Union, to partnership, innovation, and of course, sustainability. So without further ado, we will continue this dialogue, starting from Alexandria to other governorates, and we're looking forward to a very good discussion. And again, the European Union is thankful for all of you being here, and we'll look forward to private sector engagement. This is something that has to get out from the public sector into the private sector. We're very supportive, and we will be supporting it also in the future. Thank you very much.